You're now listening to the Pitchside Peregrines podcast, your home for all things Athletic Club Boise.
All right, everybody. Before we get into today's episode, quick shout out to KJO Insurance, the first sponsor of the Pitchside Peregrines podcast. Look, insurance premiums suck, but your coverage doesn't have to. They know Idaho and the Pacific Northwest, and they'll actually find you a deal that makes sense. DM them on Instagram at KJO Insurance with Pitchside, or call 208-883-4800 and tell them Kyle and Elias sent you. All right, let's talk some AC Boise.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pitchside Peregrines podcast. I am one of your hosts, Elias.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are doing a delayed, but we're still doing it, post-game wrap-up and just kind of a catch-all for maybe anything else, since, of course, the club always loves to announce players the day we submit a new episode to be posted. So it's a week ago today, but we have a new player to talk about later in this episode. But
the club's timing is impeccable. I
It
think
is.
I
It
think they
is.
literally I think they literally released that maybe 20 minutes after we had recorded the last episode. I think
I think it
around
was
that.
the day after, because I don't think
Was
they
it the day after?
release that late
Was it
in the
was it
day.
was it because we recorded so late?
Yeah, they just said, "Well, we'll stick it to them." But AC Boise falls, first defeat. These things happen, is what I'll start off by saying. I know there was maybe a lot of, maybe not. There was not a lot. I wouldn't say pushback, but there was a lot of, I can't believe you guys picked a draw in our predictions
It
in our
honestly was
Instagram graphic.
it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It wasn't
No,
as bad.
but this is the league we live in. I mean, I think, as Nate Miller said in his post-game interview, you're not going to win every game. Losses happened. There's some good things to take from this game, but there's also a lot of things that were eye-opening for him. So we'll hopefully not always pick draws, but I think in these top-end clashes, it's just the safe pick. I'd
Mhm.
rather be informed in a draw than say we're going to win 3-0 and then end up losing.
And I will say, I think I jinxed it. I think when we were watching the game in my house, and when Mayaka scored, and it was the 70 or the 80th minute, 81st minute, when Mayaka scored, and I was just like, my prediction's right, yes. And less than like 2 minutes later, Omaha
Yeah,
goes down
yeah, yeah,
and scores the winner. I'm like, I jinxed it.
yeah. So I guess let's just jump into maybe some big moments in the game over the 90 minutes. Starter wise, only major change was Toomey out of the squad entirely, not even on the bench. Wasn't in the pre-match report, injury, anything along those lines. So um, we'll wait and see why Toomey was not in the squad, if it was a
Hmm.
tactical decision or not. Um,
I feel like dropping someone from the squad entirely is it would be an odd tactical decision.
yeah.
So maybe it was illness, maybe something he picked up like because the squad report comes out the day before, so maybe this is something that happened, day of type
Hmm.
thing where
Yeah.
they're not going to release anything. But yeah, just that one change.
Yeah. So Toomey out, Yaya in. So Luan and Yaya up front. And then Dennis kind of fills the Toomey hole there in the attacking midfielder position. Bench spots was kind of a surprise to me. The only offensive, I guess, forward, let's just call it, was Hansen on the bench. All other players were either defensive-minded midfielders or wingbacks in Euler, Gasso, Adams, and the like. Definitely an interesting choice, but again, maybe some factors playing in of sickness or just the new player we just signed not being able up to speed with the team just yet. So
Yeah. I
that's
think
that
it,
for
I
the
think
starting
that
11.
that probably came down to just a general availability. Like we
Yeah,
don't have as many attacking subs, so yeah, I think whatever was going on with Toomey was probably a fluke, and that won't be what our bench looks like typically.
yeah. So from the get-go, AC Boise kind of just came out again with a press and was pushing the ball a lot. But I think Omaha showed why they're a top-end team in the USL by just kind of not really being affected by it too much. I think the first big moment for Boise was in the 6th minute where Luan Brito got fed a pass. It was an uncomfortable pass, but just
Mhm.
decided to instead of settle it, and he had, from our perspective, looked like he had some time to settle the ball and get a better shot in. He tried to chop at it in the air, and it just lifted um, over the goal. So that was
Yeah,
potentially a chance, but
that
turned out
was.
to be
I
nothing.
do want to. Uh, we had the one minute before when Inya decided to hit like a square ball, kind of like at midfield, and that was the one where they almost intercepted it. It would have been one
Hmm.
on one, like 5 minutes into the game, and it was like, oh, that was so scary. That was really scary. And yeah, had some really good passes in the game. Few and far between, I guess. He got a little quiet there in the second half, along with everyone on the team, really. But he hit a few long balls that were really nice, but that pass was so scary because I mean he probably missed the interception. The Omaha forward missed the interception by maybe a foot, and he would gone. Like God, there no one was within 20 feet of him.
Hmm. Yeah. Definitely some mistakes here and there. Obviously, if that pass gets intercepted, that is not a good look and would have led to probably a one-on-one, as you mentioned. Um, I think at times I noticed Philip Mayaka just was trying to maybe do too much in the midfield and was trying to dribble and just gave the ball away more times
Hmm.
than not. I think that was one of the screaming stats I saw looking at the post-match score sheet was how many takeaways or unsuccessful dribbles there were. And I think that just maybe has to do with at times chasing a draw. But unfortunately, I feel like in our notes there were a couple times where it was Miyaka dribbles into a giveaway in the
Yeah,
defending half
I
again.
I
Um,
think that's gonna be part of our play style a little bit. I don't know if we're a team who's gonna beat teams by, quick 1-2 passing. We had a few moments, but it seems like the way we're going to progress the ball is more we're just going to try to dribble out of trouble. Mayaka had a few of those moments, after the Luan Brito kind of half chance at the 6 minute and before the own goal in the 21st minute. A lot of our notes, like you said, was Moon dribbles and gets he gives it away at the midfield, or Mayaka dribbles, and so I think those guys are obviously talented in that aspect because they were also it feels like we were also kind of like picking on them
mm,
because they were on the ball. Like those were the guys we were trying to use to progress the ball. So obviously it felt more like a system problem than per se them having a bad game because
yeah.
Moon, like you said, the club posted Moon had a moment where he beat five players and Mayaka
Hmm.
was our player of the game. Like there were moments like it was just kind of a roller coaster of a game performance wise. It was a really like we would go into possess we would go into a moment of like we would dominate there for a little bit and then we would dip and but yeah, those two, Moon and Mayaka, were definitely that was it seemed like that was their move for the day was we're gonna try to dribble ourselves out of trouble.
Yeah, and I think I'll throw up this fun graphic from Sofa Score.
Sofa score.
Sofa Score that is like a I guess momentum meter, let's just call it. As you can see, very much at start of the game, a little bit of Omaha, then Boise had a good stretch of being in control. And then come the 22nd minute, 21st minute off of the Musa tactical yellow just on the edge of the box is where Omaha got a spike in um, momentum, leading to that maybe howler. I don't know what you want to call it, just a misplaced moment.
Just the freak accident.
Yeah, so we can talk about that. Nothing you can do about the free. I was thinking, I was like, man, if we would have just held the free kick, they wouldn't have had a corner. But there's no way you were gonna hold that free kick with how much velocity was behind it. You had to
Mm-hmm.
punch it out or risk it sliding through your hands and into the
Mm-hmm.
goal. The free kick was right at Endema, so it was a relatively routine save to punch it out. Unfortunate that it then leads to a corner.
Yeah, I agree there. And then on on the own goal itself, I try to rewatching it so many times because obviously it seems like we both agreed where he does the thing where a goalie will kind of when he grabs a corner and he collects a corner, they'll dribble it and they'll just kind of drop it. And it seems like that is what he was intending to do. But as it kind of seems like as he brought it down, it might have like brushed Mayaka's like shoulder or his elbow, and he kind of like
Hmm.
lost grip. So when he bounced it, it didn't like bounce or dribble where he wanted it to, and that's when he kind of like lost control, and that's where it hit Mayaka's foot, essentially. I mean,
Yeah.
Ndema has probably never given up a goal like that in his life.
No.
He probably never will again.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I
you chop that one up to the football god saying, "Joke's on you."
yeah. Some people may be asking, why would you drop the ball there? How dare? Like, what's wrong with there? It looked like he caught it. From me looking it back, it looks like his momentum is leading him backwards, and a lot of goalies do bounce the ball to ensure that the ball doesn't cross the line as they are falling backwards. It's something I see very commonly in some cases in those moments, and I think it was I'm going to do this, and Phillips' foot is just
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, in the wrong place at the wrong
freak.
time. Freak accident. Philip wasn't in the wrong spot. He was protecting his near post from a goal sliding in there. So definitely will be just a moment to learn and say, okay, Philip, your foot's normally there. I won't bounce the ball near you. I'll take it a little bit to the right. Learning moment. Won't happen
Hmm.
again, but a goal's a goal. And Omaha gets a early 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
And Boise is losing for the first time in club history.
But you can say this. I think I saw this on the Riverguard Discord that you can still say that the first goal against Boise was
Was by
also by
Boise.
Boise.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that goal, we did respond well. We played out of the back, which again we kind of talked about how it seems like we do dribble. It seems like we'd rather like hold on to the ball dribbling than having more, I guess more risky passing going on. So we did respond well. Kroll, this is where I first kind of noticed what Kroll and Ricketts were doing, where we had like marauding, underlapping
Hmm.
center backs. It's like Ricketts so many times in the game, which it worked, but it's like, Ricketts, where are you going?
Yeah.
He's like in the attacking third. I'm like, oh, is it a corner? Like, what did I miss? Is this
No.
a free kick? It's like, no, Ricketts is just there. Like he's just
Yeah.
going, and Kroll did it too. So kind of after we responded really well. After going down, and so Kroll had a good run. Moon makes a good run, and that's again this is like 2 minutes after the Kroll run. I just noted it's like, and there goes Ricketts. He's just gunning for it, and I think it was Ricketts' cross. I think it was
Yep.
Ricketts' cross
That leads to the corner.
that forced the corner, and that's where Luan was tripped.
Mayako was tripped.
Mayaka was tripped. Sorry,
Yeah, so
yes, where
Dennis launched in a great corner. One or two. His
better
first corner was very much near
same as the first
post,
game.
kind of. Corners overall were
We're
better for the
we're
ones we
we're
did.
gonna we're gonna chalk up that first corner to the wind,
Yeah, it
even
was.
though
If
even though
you,
I don't think the ball left the ground.
yeah, if you didn't watch the game, very windy in Omaha, and I think that led to a couple of the errors at times in today's game or Sunday's game. But Dennis launches in a corner, Dangler heads it in, uh, bounces around a bit. Mayaka settles it at his feet and gets clipped from behind. First ever penalty for Athletic Club Boise. Luan Brito takes it cool as a cucumber, low, hard, and right up the middle. Goalie went right and just goal AC Boise. There's
Hmm.
not much else to say about that. It was a very experienced penalty from a striker and maybe building
Hmm.
confidence for him moving forward, given maybe the
Yeah,
poor performance in match day one.
I think with penalties, it's funny. Everyone talks about, oh, that's a poor penalty, and it's penalties are so funny how people respond to them because if the goalie guesses the right way and saves it, everyone's like, "Oh, it's a terrible penalty." It's like, was it though? I don't know. It's just such a funky mechanic of the game how people respond to him. But he hit it hard. That's really the best thing you can do with a penalty is just hit it hard as you can and don't sky it. If you don't sky it and you hit it hard, it's probably going to go in. So yeah, it was a good moment, and he gets a yeah, it's his first goal. Um, he showed flashes. I feel like I noted he looked better this game for sure.
Hmm.
He was winning headers. just playing a lot better. Bringing others into the game,
Hmm.
um, click-ons and different aspects where he showed a lot more today.
Yeah, he definitely got a lot more service than maybe match day one, and made the most of it. Maybe at times was like we could have maybe had an extra touch there, but he was at least touching the ball and being given opportunities to head the ball and do what he can with it. From the 27th minute equalizer to halftime, not much happened of note, I would say. Just a lot of
No,
back and the forth, no major chances. Our notes just
probably we could have had maybe a few, but it's another a few more moments of Moon where Moon would either invert and he would kind of occupy the midfield and then Ricketts would overlap him, or vice
hmm
versa, where Moon would hold the width. But no matter what, it was Ricketts was high. Ricketts was super high. Moon was
hmm
super high. So what did I call it? The arrowhead. It looked like
yeah.
we were playing in an arrowhead, whereas we were playing in a 2-5-2-1, where we were playing two defenders, five midfielders, two attacking midfielders, and then Omar was like the press. He was like the leading the line pressing while Luan would drop back with Kostishin. So it looks like if you look at the average player position on
hmm
SofaScore, it looks like an arrowhead or like a
Here
Christmas
it is.
tree. Yeah. Yeah, even though the I know the Christmas tree is a 4-3-2-1. Yeah, is it a 4-3-2-1? Yeah, I think it's a 4-3-2-1. But that was wild seeing systematically. It's like, okay, Ricketts is I know he played right back, but my goodness, sir, you were you were way up there, which is it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to see for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
know we posted a picture of Jonathan Ricketts' heat map. Definitely shows how much he was all over the right side of the pitch. I mean, obviously, to me, seeing that, I would have thought that was a right wing back like Nick Moon. But to see your right back of a back three being that forward and backward,
Hmm.
very much spoke to maybe uh, the tape is showing maybe that the right side of Omaha's defense and overall their system is the weak side. I don't feel like Crawl and Bodley did much with carrying the ball up during the game to my knowledge. Versus in the Sarasota game, it felt like we went up the left a lot, and it
Hmm.
was Bodley just whipping in crosses the entire game.
This time, yeah, I agree. This time it was definitely more of a much more focus on the right hand side. Kroll had his moments, but again, you look at the average positioning, and he just wasn't getting forward as much. And I think that's just the direction the play was coming from. This game was much more on that right hand side.
Yeah. Um, well, after halftime, and leading into halftime, it felt like Omaha was kind of building up some momentum. Boise stopping some dangerous crosses right before half. After halftime, it felt like Boise came out very flat, and Omaha was given the best halftime speech and best adjustments ever,
We
where it felt like
we
we
came out
were,
we came out for 1 minute.
yeah,
We had and yeah had the one good run, and then
hmm
after that, literally in the first minute
at
after that, for about 20
30
minutes,
minutes.
yeah, we didn't do a thing.
Yeah, from 45 minutes to 72 minutes, it was really the Union Omaha show, with just peppering shots in at goal. Unfortunately, getting one in the goal. Not much threat from Athletic Club Boise or any ability to hold possession for more than a pass or two, be it getting dispossessed or losing duels or just giving the ball away
Yeah.
altogether.
With
Um,
I feel like the combination of we were trying to like play out of the back where we weren't really very few long balls from Endema up to Luan. And maybe that came down to Omar isn't the tallest, so maybe we weren't gonna like, hit long balls at Omar and rather than have Dennis up there who's a bit taller. So we were playing short out of the back and we were trying to like dribble through pressure
mhm.
rather than pass through pressure. So I mean it felt like I think Chris in the River Guard had noted it somewhere that it's just like we are inviting pressure onto us. Then because it felt like we just couldn't get out of our own half at all. It was we were stuck. We were really stuck. So it was a tough watch for a while.
Yeah. And when you are allowing a lot of shots on goal, something is bound to happen. Unfortunately, something did happen in the 72nd minute where a cross into the box. It looked like it was gonna fight with Union Omaha striker and Jake Kroll in the center of the box. My take is the wind got it and pushed it past, and Nick Moon was just caught flat-footed, thinking it was not gonna make it past them. Gets caught flat-footed, and Gutierrez just sneaks behind him and gets a grade A chance at goal. Um, Not much in Dema. I mean, if Dema would have made the save, it would have been
Nothing.
an amazing save. But this
Nothing.
is
There
not a
was
goal that's like, oh, it's the goalie's fault that he should be making these saves. It's a very much a low save percentage
oh
shot.
this yeah. It almost looks like the wind could have pushed this ball in too because
Yeah.
he hit it so soft and it just looked like it was floating, just
Hmm.
so slowly kind of getting pushed in. But no, it was I think Moon, obviously Moon got pulled like immediately after this
Yeah.
event, but Moon, so he had the initial giveaway. He had the initial giveaway that led to this entire phase of play. And yeah, it was a really awkward cross that bounce. Whenever you see a cross bounce in the box, in your
Yeah.
defending box, it's like, oh no.
This is not good.
So it was, yeah, it looked like the forward for Omaha was kind of pushing Kroll or Dangler, whoever it was. So it kind of like he had his hands out on Dangler or Kroll, and it almost like went in between them. It was very
Yeah,
strange, and it bounced. And Nick Moon, you could just see it like I think he put his shirt over his
he
head
did.
after the
Yeah,
goal was
you could
scored. And I
tell he
think,
knew
yeah, because
it was a
you could almost freeze frame when that ball bounces, and you can just see Nick is just flat footed, and then it's like you know what was going on in his head the moment that ball bounced. He's like, oh crap, because
oh, dang it.
yeah, and what a finish, and what a finish! Like
Yeah.
literally, I mean, that was I think there was nothing Endemic could have done. Um, I mean, you can't say it wasn't deserved. I think Omaha was kind of dominating us for a while at that point.
Yeah,
Um,
25 plus minutes. I mean, to go
mhm,
25 minutes with the shots that were put up, not many were dangerous, but I mean, the famous saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
mhm.
If you just get shots on goal, something's bound to happen. A ball could bounce off a foot and go in the goal. In this case, it was a great finish by the Union Omaha player. But AC Boise does seem to come back well from goals. With some, as Kyle mentioned, after that, Nick Moon immediately got. I don't want to say it was a, hey, you let that goal in, we're subbing you out. I would hope it was a planned sub that just
This
was
is
very
this
unfortunately timed,
yeah, this
where
seemed planned.
you let up that goal and then immediately get pulled for Dominic Gasso, and then also Dennis Kostishin came off
For
for
yeah.
Hansen.
Gasso on for Kostishin in the 62nd minute and Hansen on for Brito in the 62nd minute, which is a
72nd.
little which no, they were on in the
They
62nd.
were on for the goal.
Yes,
Oh,
Gasso and Hansen were both on in the 62nd, and then Moon came on, or Euler
for
came on
Euler.
for Moon in the
Check.
73rd.
Check,
Yeah.
check, check.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
erase that from your memory. You probably won't even hear it. Yeah, Nick Moon
Which I will
immediately gets
say,
subbed off
which
for
I
Keegan Euler, making his
mhm.
professional debut in the 72nd minute. And come the 76th minute, I feel like there was a great example of what playing from the back and taking those extra passes looks like, where Jake Kroll, center back, is somehow past the midfield line carrying the ball. Great touch pass to Mayaka, who then has a perfectly weighted pass to Euler,
Oh, what
who
a through
takes it
ball. It
inside
was a
inside the box, and Hansen is sitting there, center of, I guess, the 8 yard box.
mhm.
Euler sees him, gets it to him perfectly
Yeah.
placed pass,
Really good cutback. Yeah.
and just lifts it well over the bar.
No.
Grade A
He's
chance, not much to say besides you want that one back. That would
yeah.
have made it 2-2
Looked like he
with,
was hitting a chip shot with a golf club.
yeah.
He scooped it. It looked like he kind of, you listen to other announcers say, "Oh, he leaned back. He leaned back. He didn't stay on top of the ball. He
Hmm.
scooped it. It looked like he was just trying to place it, he had a lot of the goal to hit, and rather than just maybe aiming for the middle, not aiming for the middle, but it's just he didn't aim for the big body of the goal. It looked like he kind of
Hmm.
scooped it to go, hey, the goalie's down to my right, I'm going to go top left, and he just got under it. I mean, you obviously want it back. I mean, it was also his first minutes, I think, for the team. He's probably not 100% fresh. Strikers are momentum players, it seems like, because Hansen had some good movement. It seemed like
Yeah.
he definitely added something. He'll get those chances back, and he'll score them. But that one, yeah, you definitely want it back.
Yeah, that definitely shows maybe the potential there for a Keegan Euler, who is a Boise
Hmm.
native, Rocky Mountain High School graduate, showing that he is a formidable substitute for either wingback. In this case, it was Nick Moon.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if he'll be as much of a dribble out of the back like Nick Moon, how
mm,
he inverts and goes into midfield. It seems like he may be more of a traditional hold the width type wingback. And but yeah, I think he's going to have to take advantage of these chances. I think
yeah,
Nick Moon is embedded as a starter, and if Euler can cover both wings, that would be really nice defensively too. I mean, maybe we it's hard to pay as much attention to the defenders as much, unless there's crosses coming in and you're heading out of the box. Like you notice Dangler all the time. It's like you notice him because he's the guy that is his job is to head the
hmm
ball away. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Keegan can have, because that cutback was perfect. It was a
yeah.
perfect
To
cutback. I mean,
see, I feel like young players, maybe this is just me being a boomer, but I feel like young players just have maybe some more creative thoughts, and maybe in this case shows that he is looking for that creative pass and not being maybe selfish in that moment and seeing the potential of a shot,
yeah,
being as close to goal as he was, that he is
yeah.
selfless and saying, "Hey, I have someone wide open right here. Let's give it to him in
He
my
he
first
definitely.
professional
Yeah,
minutes."
because he definitely could have hit kind of more of a, in the first game bodily. Could have, it could have been like a similar style of cross where it would have been kind of across the face of goal to the far post, and just hope a Boise player is making that run to tap it in. But he saw Hansen cutting towards him for that cutback. So yeah, it was really good vision. He didn't go for glory. He went for the smart play. And again, I think if you give Hansen that chance 10 times, he probably scores six, seven
Yeah.
of them. So can't knock him too much. It just, those things happen.
Yeah. So moving forward, next big thing was 2 minutes after that. We have a classic Endema moment where he is again near the midline of the field, heading a ball. Unfortunately, heading the ball right to a Union Omaha player, which leads to a jailbreak, for lack of better terms, of 3-on-1, 4-on-1 of Jake Dengler, and was just standing on an island, and Union Omaha just couldn't convert. They should
Yeah.
have. It should have
Yeah.
been the nail in the coffin a lot earlier, which maybe would have made me feel better about the loss. Or
Yep.
yeah, would have given me more time to process and not get my hopes up come the 81st minute where we get the equalizer.
Hmm.
But
I don't really know what he was supposed to do, I guess. Like he was alone. He was on an island. Like
mhm,
Dangler wasn't gonna get to that ball. It was over his head. Like Omaha player, maybe he could have waited a second and hoofed it. Like he could have kicked it if he just
yeah,
would have like waited, sat back for 1 second and then kicked it out,
or
and
head
cleared it
it
and just
like
got.
maybe not into the middle of the pitch.
Yeah,
But in that
yeah,
moment,
it's
like
a
you
tough
can't think
one.
of that like split
But
decision. Thankfully, it didn't lead to anything, but it definitely
mhm,
was a.
it should
Jake
have.
Dengler gave Endema his thoughts after the ball went wide of goal. Um, whatever what he said, we'll never know.
No one
But it
knows.
definitely didn't look very happy about the situation. Um, they made the most of it, and you know how didn't convert, but definitely something that is just a what could have been another unfortunate event in the game. But as I did tease, come the 81st minute, through Jonathan Ricketts, after a throw in, Jonathan Ricketts, I feel like, lifted a ball right to Philip Mayaka's feet with no one around him. Philip dribbles it in to the edge of the penalty arc and just blasts a ball below our left corner. Goalie didn't get a great read on it and didn't get a great jump on the ball. Scores, and we're tied 2-2 in the 81st
And
minute.
this is when Kyle cursed us.
Yeah.
I'll I'm changing my daughter's diaper in her room, and I just hear Jonathan and Elias going crazy, and I'm like, my prediction's right, yes. And there was
3 minutes
10 minutes.
later, it is no longer right. It is wrong once again.
I'm not a superstitious person like at all when it comes to like sports. Like there's all these unwritten rules. Like in baseball, you can't step on like the foul line before like entering the field. Like when you're going on the field, you can't step on the foul line. I was a player who would like step on it on purpose. I was like I would do the anti superstitious thing, which is in and of itself also superstitious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I jinxed it. I jinxed it. I
Okay.
said, yes, this is my prediction. We're gonna tie.
I'm gonna get another point in our
And yeah,
competition.
yeah, that's all I cared
And
about.
then Gutierrez, who was USL player or team of the week, uh, scored again.
Broke our
Again,
hearts.
a just a well placed ball. He takes it in from outside the box. For lack of a better term, jukes Ricketts. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah,
Just kind of gave him a shimmy shake. Ricketts bit on it, and he blew right past Jonathan Ricketts, and again hits Endema through the 5 hole between his legs. Um, as a
yeah.
goalie, that is just the worst feeling to see a ball go through your legs. But I mean,
It does happen a lot in soccer. I feel like because you're coming in to close out the angle, you're coming
mhm,
in, but if he just hit it hard enough, and I wonder Gutierrez, I don't know if he's right-footed or left-footed, so maybe Ricketts was trying to show him to his outside because maybe he's a right-footed player. So it's Ricketts like, okay, I'll cut in, show him to his outside, and he'll hit like a weak cross. But I mean, he hit it hard and low.
yeah,
Dangler couldn't quite get there to close it down. And Dema came out to close the angle, and you know the goalie do like they spread the arms and they slide, and
yep,
it just he I mean, Endema did what he could. I mean, he's going to be mad about it. I feel like
yeah.
he's going to be. It's a goal that we see conceded all the time. Like I feel like you see these types of goals conceded all the time, and you know the goalie's mad at themselves. But yeah, I mean, they again, it seems like Ricketts tried to like gamble. He tried to
Hmm.
like gamble and assume what he was going to do, or he was trying to get him to do that, and he just
Yeah.
the result was not what he wanted. So,
Yeah. When someone's
yep,
hot and they're going to score like that, there's not much that can be done. Again, would have loved to save there, but it was and Demo did nothing wrong in that situation. It's just
no,
once
it's
once
just
they're that close and they
he
have,
he committed. I will say that he committed. He made the decision. I
yeah,
have to do this, and yeah, it just five hold him. So
yeah,
I guarantee Gutierrez starts next week
yeah, that is a super sub coming on in the 70th minute and immediately making an impact and scoring 2 goals.
and becoming and making. He is the player of the week. He
Yeah.
played 30 minutes, and he was a
Hmm.
USL League One player. Dude,
Love that for him.
Union Omaha. I think their coach and like five players were on the team of the week. So
Yeah.
apparently USL was just like, yep, this is the best result
Them and
ever.
Naples made up most of the team of the week. But
Yeah.
um, besides that, only big note: Charlie Adams did get his first minutes of the year, being on the injury report for back-to-back weeks, being questionable with I think it was a lower leg injury. To see him just get some miles on the legs, see how it feels, didn't really make an impact since at that point I feel like Union Omaha just hemmed us in, and there was not much chances to
There
happen
was
between then.
the one deep cross where it seems like the wind may have played an effect on the wall, but it kind of it looked a lot like the chance that Omaha had when it bounced to Gutierrez and Moon was flat-footed. It seemed like Ricketts, he looked like he went to like adjust his body because
Mm-hmm.
if he would have collected it, he probably could have scored.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an Omaha player there. It was another ball where it probably shouldn't have bounced, and it bounced, and I think he wasn't quite ready for it. Like or you know, he just angled his body a little funky. And again, it's one of those moments where it's like if you give Ricketts 10 times that chance 10 times, he probably at least puts a shot on goal 5 times, six
Yeah.
times.
If there was no
Um,
wind, it would be a lot different. But I think
yeah.
the gusts of Omaha got the better of
Hmm.
us at times. So with that ending with a 3-2 loss, um,
Do you think it's fair? Do you think the
I,
result is fair?
given how bad the start of the second half, the first half of the second half was, I think 3-2 is very fair. I think maybe a draw would be more fair. Mm, I mean, if you take the Andema or Mayaka own goal out of the equation, it is a 2-2 draw.
Hmm.
Um, but just seeing how little chances we gave up for, let's just say 30 minutes from halftime, second half whistle to the 72nd, maybe a loss is earned. As tough as that is to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the XG would have given it to Omaha.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair result. Again, I think a draw. I don't think anyone on Omaha would have been like, oh, they Boise didn't deserve the draw. Whatever. I think it's a fair result. Things to learn from, a lot of things to learn from, and also a lot of good things. I feel like a lot of players showed their individual quality. And again, it shows that yeah, the first game wasn't. It was exciting because it was the first game, but we didn't really give. Other than that, other than the first goal and a win, there wasn't a whole lot to write home about. I guess
Hmm.
it was, but this was more of a. If this is what Boise is going to be every week, we're going to be a very like fun and frustrating team because like I remember Dennis. Dennis didn't have his best game. That's fine. Yeah, but he was making aggressive mistakes per se.
Hmm.
Like he gave the ball away a couple times in the attacking third, but he was trying to make the pass. Like he got kind of like Toomey did in the first game, playing in that attacking midfield role. He was trying to make the pass before the pass or the key one. So he was making those aggressive mistakes, which I'm okay with. Like it's fun. Again, I'm an Everton fan. I want to see aggressive mistakes that lead to it's either we're going to score, like it's going to create big chances.
Yeah.
So Dennis and Toomey are going to create those chances. They're going to give the ball away, but at least it's also in a position where it's in an attacking third. It's in the attacking half. It's not, they're not giving the ball away as often in our defending half or defending third, that is the frustrating part where maybe we're trying to dribble out and we're not even to the halfway line yet, and we're just getting dispossessed, which did happen a few times. But yeah, I'd say I can't be too upset with the loss. We had so many good moments though, so I see what we were going to be for the season, and I think we'd mentioned this earlier. We're probably going to beat some teams 4 or 5-0, and then we are absolutely going to lose to teams we have no business losing to, just because of the system that we play, and it's so again, we play a 2-5-2-1. Like it is an aggressive system. We have marauding, underlapping, overlapping center backs. like,
Hmm.
like it's an aggressive system. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be frustrating to watch in this like good way. It's just going to be it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be entertaining. And so yeah, I mean, I can't complain too much. It was still a fun game.
Yeah, for sure. We have some post-game quotes from Nate Miller as he was interviewed after the game. His first was, I was super disappointed with the moments where we were under pressure and how we weren't as disciplined when defending our box. There are moments that I know these players can be better and we can do better, but at the same time, I'm very happy with how we responded, going down 2-1, taking complete control of the game, creating chances, and tying the game. Second quote being, "You're not going to win every game. You're not going to win every away game, excuse me. And for us, it's about making sure the performances are really good. Omaha's a really good team with some of the best talent in the league. We felt what it's like today to be under pressure and how to dig ourselves out of it. I just want to see how our guys do it when it's hard. That's the biggest thing. I want to see what kind of character we have, and I think we'll be there. We know the things we need to get better at, and it's going to be a process." I think
Yeah.
that puts it perfectly that maybe the Sarasota game we didn't see much of what this team is besides a win and that one moment. But I think this shows maybe I don't know, guile is the word that I always think of fighting back into games and seeing what happens when you get punched off of a stinky own goal to go down 1-0, fighting back to 1-1, going down 2-1, fighting back to 2-2, and just being an unfortunate end to not be reap the fruits of fighting back as much. So, with that, um, Kyle, we have your
My
player
favorite part.
ratings. Your
Yes.
favorite part. We
Yeah.
have shared maybe the computer AI player ratings from FotMob or Sofa Sports, but
Score.
none Sofa Scores, excuse me, but none compare to our dear
Good.
Kyle's all-knowing.
I'm not big on the 6.15.
No, you're half
I
points.
keep it, yeah, I round up. I round up to the nearest half. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you can kind of give your thoughts. But I gave Endema despite the own goal. Again, he's never given up a goal like that in his life, more than likely, and he probably will never will again. So I gave him a six. I gave him a six because I don't want to punish him too much. And I honestly would have given him a six and a half or seven. Mostly because of his distribution. I felt like he honestly, he did we kept it short, but he didn't have any like really bad moments other than the header that, went into the midfield. But again, it was a weird moment. But when he was just like when he had patience and he had time on the ball, he did pretty well. He's gonna be disappointed with the own goal. He's gonna be disappointed with the goal that he gave up, the winner. But again, I'm still gonna give him a six because there were still quite a few good moments. Uh Elias, you can let me know how you feel about that one.
No, that's great. You're the expert when it comes to these player ratings. Don't I think I rarely disagree with you on these things.
Yeah, that's fair. So
Um,
I'll keep him moving then.
yeah.
Yeah. So Jacob Kroll, Kroll, we gave him a six and a half. He carried the ball really well. Out of again marauding, underlapping runs from a center back. Again, it's an interesting role. He didn't do it as quite as much as Ricketts, but he is a left back. He is a left back center back hybrid type player. So he has that skill set. There was one moment where he gave the ball away, a pass actually in our defending third, and then he went in for a slide tackle and he just whiffed, and Omaha didn't score from this chance, but Mayock has saved us with a really good clearance on a cutback cross. So I gave Kroll a six and a half. Again, I thought those underlapping runs and aggressive runs and interceptions were pretty impressive. Dengler, I gave Dengler a six. More of a quiet game. He headed the ball away a few times impressively again, but just more quiet. And maybe there was one moment where he did get beat in the air, which is always scary. It's like Dangler, it seems like that is his primary goal, and he's going to get beat sometimes. But again, more of a quiet game from him. Jonathan Ricketts, he was in that marauding center back, overlapping, underlapping role where he was in the attacking third sometimes, and it's just like, are we again, like I mentioned, is like, do we have a corner? It's like, nope, that's just Ricketts going. So really fun game from him. So I gave him a seven. Blake Bodley, more of a quiet game, like we had mentioned earlier. But like Bodley, more of a quiet game. Again, he kind of seems like, again, with this aggressive system, it's going to be a roller coaster of games where it's just like he's going to be out of position. Again, not necessarily his fault because he's probably just doing what he's being told to do. But I gave him a six. Musa and yeah, Musa, I gave him a six and a half. A pretty quiet game, especially in the second half, but there were some really good long passes that he had hit in the first half, and he came out of the gates pretty aggressive in the second half with our one good chance before Omaha just started dominating. So I gave him a six and a half. Mayaka Philip, seven and a half. He's my player of the game. He again, he was everywhere. He was everywhere. He obviously the own goal, and then he scored a goal, and he was just involved. He was absolutely. I mean, I don't know how he's gonna start. You obviously want him to start every game. I don't know how he's gonna because his legs have got to be gone. Um, but yeah, he got a seven and a half. He had those weird moments where he'd give the ball away, just making aggressive mistakes or just trying to make aggressive things happen. So yeah, he's a fun player to watch because it is a little bit of that roller coaster ride with him. Elias, do you think with him, kind of similar, just like obviously the best player on the pitch, but at the same, he kind of like embodied how Boise played as a whole.
Yeah, I think Philip at 2 games in is easily people's favorite player, just because he is everywhere. Yes, he makes mistakes and maybe gives up the ball a little bit too much, and that was maybe more obvious in today's game than it was in Sarasota. But I think you bring up a great point of I'm interested to see who fills his shoes in a time where he's not starting. And maybe he's a guy who just has an infinite gas tank and can just play game after game after game. Let's see come May when we have 3 games in 7 days if he's playing 270 minutes or if he's given a game to rest, how this midfield looks without that demon, for lack of a better
Man,
term,
yeah.
in the midfield. I think 7.5 is fair given the goal to equalize and how great that was. But definitely some deductions for maybe
Yeah.
the sloppy ball control at
Yeah.
times.
I feel like as Boise goes, as goes Philip Mayaka.
Hmm.
Like he is our metronome. As if Mayaka's having a bad moment, Boise as a whole is having a bad moment. But yeah, what a key player for us. Nick Moon. Nick Moon, I gave him a 6.5. 6.5. Again, some good moments. He had some really good runs. Boise posted hit the one highlight today. I think he beat 4 or 5 players on one inverted run that he did where he came from out on the wing and all of a sudden he ends up next to Kostishin. And so he had an interesting game. Defending, obviously, he got caught flat-footed for the second goal. Those things happen. Um, so yeah, I'm sure just like Blake, a little bit of a roller coaster, but he made some really outstanding runs and played really well in tandem with Ricketts. I feel like they played off each other pretty well. So I'll give him a 6.5. Dennis, quiet game from Dennis. He was off the ball. When we were out of possession, he was really far forward. So it kind of looked like a 3-4-3 because he would split Luan and Omar and he would be kind of that focal point. But then as he would drop back, he would start moving he was all over the pitch in good and bad ways. Again, he made some aggressive pass attempts, which you want to see because they're going to come off, and he is going to be the key component in a lot of goals that we score this year, and he's going to score some. Just didn't come off today, so I gave him a 6. Luan. Luan, really good improvement. Again, he was way more involved. Again, he kind of impatient with some shots. He may, especially with that first one, that half volley that he tried, where that one could have been. He probably had time for a touch, but overall, he was much more involved in linking other players in, and just and winning some flick on headers. So much more impressive. Took his penalty well, so I gave him a 7. I maybe unfairly pulled off at the 63rd minute for Hansen. I thought he was more effective than Omar, and we'll move straight into Omar. Yeah, yeah. Probably a frustrating game for him. You could tell he was trying to do some things, but just wasn't super involved. He had a couple of good runs, 1 or 2 crosses that I think came off, but pretty quiet. So I don't want to give him less than a 6 because again, he wasn't detrimental in any way. He just wasn't quite as involved. He kind of reminded me of Luan in our first game. So yeah, I gave him a 6. For the starters, sound good to you, Elias?
Yeah, I think they
Perfect.
all. Uh, I think Omar at times was trying to draw fouls and just wasn't being given them. I can remember a few times where him in 14, I think, was on Union Omaha, got into some spats and
Hmm.
just nothing ever came of it. Never
Not as
really.
bad as Owusu and Kostishin. I think
Yeah,
Owusu. I noted that Owusu like kicked him in the head.
yeah.
Like he kicked, and it seemed way more malicious than anyone gave any credit for. Like
Mm-hmm.
Omaha players were again. Every soccer player complains. Like it's just
Mm-hmm.
everyone does. Everyone's going to complain about the referee, but Omaha it seemed like they were a little over the top complaining a lot of that game. Like Brett Coleman like was doing this at Omar, like, oh yeah,
Yes.
you're flopping, you're full or whatever he was just saying. But yeah, Kostashin literally got kicked in the head.
Yeah.
Or a shin to the head, whatever, and just nothing. I'm like, I mean, probably not a yellow card at all, but it's just like, really, you could at least foul. I don't know.
Yeah. Something. What about the subs? I mean, my guess is they're all going to
Um,
be in the sixes since none of them
yeah,
really did too much. None of them did nothing.
Dom gets a 6. Um, Joe gets a 6. He could be maybe just because again he didn't have a whole lot to do. He got the one opportunity and it didn't come off. Again, it's gonna work. It's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about him. He showed what he can do. So I gave him a 6. Maybe that's some people are gonna say that's too lenient, but you know what? You can see the talents there. So I'm not too worried about it. Keegan gets a 6.5. Keegan Euler, because he came on, he had a little bit something different, had that really good cutback. He just didn't. Now, if he would have played the whole game, yeah, maybe he's a 7.5, but he just wasn't on the field long enough. And Charlie gets an NA
Yep.
because he
He
didn't play. He
he
got
made an
9 minutes.
appearance. He made a cameo, but he did
Yep.
not do
I think
anything to
I think
deserve a.
Sofa Score gave him a 6.
Yep.
I think maybe right on the dot.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Kyle. I'm sure all our listeners enjoy hearing your thoughts on player ratings, and we will be continuing to tabulate these scores throughout the year, and we'll have a all season Kyle player rating for each player come the end of the season.
As
But
well as our combined 3 stars or
of course,
individual 3 stars of the game. So, Elias, I'll let you take over. And essentially, what is player ratings? But who are your 3 stars of the game?
yeah, I think my stars were. Um, as much as it maybe hurts to put Philip Mayaka at one. I mean, if we were doing true soccer 3 stars, I would put Omaha's Gutierrez as my first star. But as we are an AC Boise show, I will stay true and only put our players in these lists. So Philip Mayaka gets my first star, as we've mentioned over and over again. Great performance today, great goal, and just kind of powered through the rough moments of the game. Jonathan Ricketts is my second star, given his assist on Phillips' goal, on top of kind of being everywhere on the pitch, and the one blemish of giving up that late third goal. Not directly his fault. I mean, the ball ended up there and could have been cleared beforehand, and it all could have been, as we've been talking about, trying to get Gutierrez onto his left foot if that's not his primary foot. And then third is Nick Moon. I think I tweeted at halftime that I thought he was my player of the half, just given the dribbles he had, given the moments of maybe getting that pass out and not being as flat at times as maybe they were in the first game. Um, Again, 72nd minute happens, but I think I have to give him the tip of the cap as my third star for the chances he did make and maybe the class he showed at times.
No, no, that I think those are all fair points, and I'm gonna almost copy your list exactly. Philip is my 1 star, 3 star. Which one is it again? First, he's my
First star,
first star. Yeah, first star, 3 points. Yeah,
first star,
but
three
yeah, first
points.
star. Jonathan Ricketts is also my second star player. Yeah, again, just a fun watch for him, fun game. Yeah, those other moments will get cleaned up, I think, as the season goes along. And my third star is Luan Brito.
Mm.
Again, Luan, he scored the penalty. He, a little impatient with his shooting at times, but I feel like he's going to score a couple bangers that way.
Hmm.
Some ridiculous goals might come of it. So yeah, maybe if he can get a little bit more patient or just kind of read the moment a little bit better, especially earlier in the game. We weren't in a rush at the time, but yeah, he held the ball up well, just in bringing other players into the game. It's much more involved. So I was impressed, and you can definitely see the upside there. So yeah, he is my first
Third star.
third star. I'm gonna
Yep.
get it right.
Bronze medal.
He's my bronze medal AC Boise player for the game.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the post-match breakdown. We do have a little bit more to come in this episode. Before we get there, we will throw it to a quick ad break from today's sponsor.
All right, everybody, quick word from our sponsor, KJO Insurance. Look, being forced to rely on a GoFundMe might suck, but knowing you have a life insurance policy waiting for your family if anything happens, that doesn't suck. KJO makes it simple and affordable. Please DM at KJO Insurance with Pitchside or call 208-883-4800.
Welcome back from the ad break. We did forget to mention our running total point score system. That was a mess of how to say it. Our
I
competition that we're doing. Unfortunately,
our
neither.
prediction scores.
Yes, our prediction scores. Neither Kyle or I did score any points, as neither of our first goal scorers scored, and neither of our final scores were the final score. As close as Kyle and I both were at one point in the game. Both of our scores were true and 1-1 and 2-2, but neither came to fruition. So
And
the
we both predicted a draw and we
yes,
lost. So no
this
points.
no points, no dice. Kyle is still in the lead 2-1. We move on to Spokane Velocity in a week and a half now.
Another super fun game
Yeah,
to predict.
another tough
Ugh,
game.
great.
I think that leads us to we can talk about the Fan Fest first, since that I think the Fan Fest is this upcoming weekend for all season ticket holders. Please come. It sounds like it'll be a great event. Kyle and I will be there either as media members or as season ticket holders, maybe a little bit of both. If you haven't heard of the Fan Fest and you are a season ticket holder, this is an event where you get to watch the team play two 30-minute scrimmages, have an autograph session, see the field, see the stadium. It looks beautiful from the videos we've seen recently. I think seeing all the season ticket holders together and kind of getting a feel for the energy in the stadium come this weekend will help see maybe adjust my scores for Spokane if it was like if we didn't have this moment to see what a full stadium potentially will look like. Since the past two games we've seen in the USL, it's been an empty stadium. I think the attendance was 1,700 people for the Union Omaha match,
Oh,
which is very low.
yeah.
Uh,
I wonder if the weather had something to do with that because it looked
yeah,
miserably windy. But still, yeah, that's not great, especially given that the average attendance apparently at the old stadium, the minor league baseball stadium, was three plus
yeah,
thousand. So
yeah. Not a
I'm
tough day.
sure I'm sure they're a little frustrated with
It
that.
will be a beautiful day on Saturday, a high of 71. So it'll be a nice Boise spring. But just looking forward to see the stadium, see the team in person, meet a lot of the players for the first time. If you have kids, bring them for autographs and kind of meeting that moment. Kyle, is there anything you're looking forward to in particular with
Yeah,
the Fan Fest?
I'm interested to see. I wonder if this is just going to be like 11 on 11 scrimmage because I think we have
Hmm.
enough players for it now. So, and that'll be nice to see some of the players we haven't gotten to see play as much. It's like, oh, that'll be fun to see Hayden Sargis play a little bit
Hmm.
more. Benny and Meow, Jackson Stevens,
Yeah.
Joe Hansen, Thomas Amon,
Yeah.
the new signing that
New
we'll
signing.
talk about here in a bit. But yeah, I would love to see an 11 on 11. I'm glad it's just 30-minute halves and it'll be short game for everybody, but it will be cool to see the stadium to see number one how many people are going to come because it's just an exhibition
Hmm.
type thing. Tree fort, there's other things going on, but I think hopefully obviously people didn't plan for this initially because we were supposed to be in Georgia.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stadium, it looks like the stadium still has quite a bit to do, especially in the beer garden.
Yeah, the east half of the
So
stadium is definitely, at least on the videos we saw this week, very much still a construction site. So
yeah, I don't know if
interested
sod's going in. Like sod,
yeah,
is this going to be sod? Is it going to be turf? I'm very
it's
interested to
definitely not
see.
concrete, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, that'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
kind of how things look. So no, it's a cool. I'm just excited to see the stadium how
Hmm.
from the inside. I've driven again. We live really close nearby, so I've driven by once or twice, and we walked to the green belt there to the north of the stadium. So no, it'll be a really cool event. Hopefully, I I temper expectations because the stadium's not 100% done. Like
Yeah.
there, so I hope people aren't like disappointed with how the stadium looks when we know it's going to get there. And so, yeah, I think it'll be fun to watch River Guard to see how even just for an exhibition, see how intense they may get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
See
it'll
how
be a fun
loud
event.
the south ends of the supporter section can
Yeah,
get.
how loud can the stadium get as a whole? And yeah, it'll be. I'm sure the staff and the ownership and everyone involved are looking forward to it and looking forward to the responses from everybody. Before Spokane comes to town.
Yeah, which that'll be a big test. And check out next week for our pre-match deep dive into Spokane, and where we give you our
Yeah,
thoughts and predictions for that game. But as you mentioned earlier, Kyle, we do have a new striker on the team, and he does have San Diego loyal connections, as most of this team does, it feels like. We have Thomas Amang coming to us with international and quite a bit of USL championship experience. Seems, looking at his past locations, seems like a true number nine. A lot of his heat maps are hot in the opposition's box or the greater area around that. I think for his season under San Diego, it felt like the entire attacking half of the pitch was his hot zones. He was just everywhere, which fits with this system. Um, Seems to be another great option to fill with Omar, Luan, and Hansen. Um, Adding that fourth head to that quadruplet. I don't know if
Mhm.
adding the
Yeah,
fourth
I
head to the
mean,
trio.
it's just good depth. It's good depth. You
Yeah.
want two players in every position, and like you had mentioned, he seems like a traditional number nine. And if correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like he wasn't a regular starter the last couple of
Mm-mm.
seasons, but still decent goal return. I think you have those stats more than me.
Yeah, he over the at least let's say last season with New Mexico, I believe.
Yep, New Mexico,
He
Orange
had
County. Yeah,
19
he went
appearances, 7 starts. He averaged 35 minutes an appearance. He had 2 goals, so a goal every
not
330 minutes.
not the best last
Not the
season.
best.
That's okay.
If we go to the season before with Orange County, he started 10 games, played in 20, averaged 52 minutes, so just over a half of play, 6 goals in those appearances. So, uh,
That's a decent return. Like
yeah, goal
that's a
every 3 games isn't bad.
no, I'd take that.
If we turn back the clock even more to his time with San Diego, which was under um, Nate Miller and the gang, 32 games, 20 starts, 60 minutes on average, 11 goals in those
That's yeah,
appearances.
that's and he's a pretty central or
Yeah.
for San Diego, for San Diego, he was all over the place. But for I think New Mexico, you had said he became more of a box just
Yeah, I mean,
striker.
even
Like
with San Diego, the box is hot. I can throw up a few heat map of New Mexico, Orange County, and San Diego for you to see how they differ slightly. It's not dramatic, but it is slightly different heat profiles to where he's playing. So it shows that he has versatility in playing a box striker or being a more outside the box player on the attacking half. So interested to see where he fits in.
yeah,
Hopefully, he makes the bench in the Spokane match if it's deemed proper for Nate to have him there. But
I do want to mention his where he played before. So at 18, he moved to Molde, which is a team in Norway, and people may know that team because that's where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the manager during his time there. So he played for Ole. Did he play with Erling Haaland? I actually want to see that. He may have played with Erling Haaland at
we love Kyle making
Molde.
deep connections. I know
Ooh,
Kyle, you
ooh.
mentioned
He
he
did. He
was.
played with Erling. Okay, I know. If
Oh,
we ever interview him, I know exactly what I want to ask him about. I would like, what is Erling Holland actually like in real life?
yeah, what Erling was
Um,
what, 18, 19?
Probably like 14.
Yeah, even younger.
Still just a robot.
Yeah.
So yeah, so two legends of the game. He got to play with Holland, and he got to play under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And then
Oh.
before moving to the U.S., he also played for I'm sure you say it differently because it's Spanish, but he did play in Spain for, I'm going to say it in the most American way I possibly can. He played for Gymnastic, Club
Oh.
Gymnastic de Tarragona. And
Oh.
I know I,
Good.
I butchered that. I also wasn't going to try. But which was in the Segunda, I think Segunda B division, which is the third tier of Spanish soccer. So
Wow.
and also, fun fact for FIFA players, at one point he was a very highly touted recruit because his potential at one point was an 83, which you sign an 83 rated player in FIFA. Like that's someone you put on your team immediately. So 83 rated, so he had some pedigree coming out of Norway.
Yeah, coming out of Norway definitely has some potential. He's still only 28, so
Yeah.
not the oldest. He just had his birthday just on February 9th, according to our sources. So happy belated birthday to you, Thomas. He is 5'9", and Cameroon is his home nation. So
Yeah, I'm not attempting that city name.
nah, nope. Oh, we'll leave that one for the experts, and we are not the experts in pronouncing Cameroonian city
I don't
names.
I don't think we're experts in pronouncing anything. I think
Yeah, we're
we've
not.
butchered
Nah,
we've
I'm not
butchered
that guy.
so much. We are basically Wayne Gretzky at the
Yeah,
World Cup.
that's the World Cup description, World
Don't
Cup
want to
draw. that was a mess.
What
We
was
don't
the
want to be
best
here for
one?
another hour, so we will save our listeners.
But you're so good at the impressions.
We'll save our listeners that time. The ear bleeding mistake of me trying to do that. That is far too fun. Maybe for the Patreon one day, you can just sit down and have Elias try and recreate
Highlight.
some moments. But really appreciate you all listening to today's episode, and doing a deep dive into the unfortunate loss against Union Omaha. I think there's a lot of upsides to take from this, and hopefully, come next week against Spokane, we can get that cleaned up and get some points back on the sheet.
Yeah. Yeah,
Have us climb the table.
I think we're gonna have a couple episodes, episodes coming up if everything we have planned comes to plan.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to do the interview with the River Guard at the beginning of each month,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll have to reach out to them. Again, our preview for the Spokane game, maybe talking to Spokane Soccer Show, reach out to him, see if
Yeah.
he, because we that's something we want to do each week before a game is get a hold of these other USL podcasters for the teams that we're playing. So it'd be fun to get with him and get a rivalry going. Our nearest geographic rival that's
Yeah.
only
We need to
7 hours
think of
away.
like, do you think a rivalry name like the Battle for Hell's Canyon or something?
Yeah.
Just
That's
since
I
that's,
know the River Guard's been the Discord has been they've been trying to think of stuff and it's tough, man.
yeah.
Because I was thinking it's like okay, Spokane isn't too far away from Pullman because we have the Snake River rivalry now with
Mm-hmm.
Wazoo and us. I'm like, but Snake River doesn't make it to Spokane, so that doesn't quite fit. We're not in the Paiute, so we can't call it like anything related to that. So
Oh,
it's
the
like,
Palouse.
yeah, Paiute, Palouse. But see, I can't
Yeah,
pronounce
that's why we're
anything.
here. If you have any recommendations for a rivalry name, post them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we
And come
will,
come talk to us at
yeah, come
the
talk to
fan
us at
fest.
FanFest. We should, knock on wood, have our recording equipment with us so we can get some video or audio recordings to include you in our post FanFest reaction video. But until then, we hope you have a great week and we will talk to you all soon.
Goodbye.
Bye. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoy the show, make sure to like, comment, share with a friend, and make sure you're following the show wherever you listen. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for all updates and future content to come. If you want to help support the pod and get access to exclusive content, early episodes, and bonus perks, head over and check out our Patreon. It truly helps us keep this thing growing. Thanks again for listening. Thanks for being part of the community, and we'll catch you in the next one.